discussed that today we said that 65-35 is the right allocation, or maybe 60-40 is the right allocation. Every customer should have 60% to equities and 40% to structured product at any given point of time, be it market is doing well or market is not doing well. That is what we try and emphasize to the clients. But as I mentioned, the challenges that we face is that today they feel that 14% बहुत कम है boss, the market MF is giving me more. So I'm sure such queries even your RMs must be facing. So how do we handle those queries?
Oh, this is a classic case of recency bias, right? जो सामने दिखता है कि यार अभी इतना रिटर्न बन रहा है तो भाई यही करना है. So I think it's very important that the positioning of structured products, that why it is important, in your portfolio. So see, most investors say that I'm long term, right? Or if you're long term में तो सब अच्छा ही है. That's what people say. But nobody puts 100% money in equity, right? सबको पता है long term में अच्छा बनने वाला है, but कोई 100% डालता नहीं है. तो what is the alternative they look for? The alternative they look for is debt डालते थे ताकि थोड़ा बहुत stability आए, थोड़ा बहुत आपको protection मिले, so that you can weather the volatility and still make a decent return, right? So I think that's where we found a very good alternative in terms of structured products, because the kind of products that we have kind of offering, like is very little dependency on the market and very high probability of making those returns. So it's become a very good alternate to your debt strategy, where you have protection, you also have returns on the upside, right? And similar to what equity-like returns. So I was just seeing the numbers. If anybody would have followed the 10-year strategy of structured products, so day in and day out, if it had after maturity had bought the structured product again, a 1 crore investment today would have become 5.44 crores, whereas Nifty during the same period is given 3.33 crores. So while you bought it like a debt alternative, you've still made returns more than equity. So I think the positioning of the structured products in the portfolio is very important. In fact, it should be the other way around. When markets are high, which seem to be high, I'm not saying they're high, but seem to be high, you should buy structures, and when markets are down, you should buy mutual funds. But investors and advisors follow exactly the opposite. When markets are high, you're putting more mutual funds, and markets are low, you want to time up. Because in structures, you just need 5-6% per annum Nifty, which is like inflation returns. If inflation returns Nifty can't give, then we should not have a single rupee in equity. That should be the assumption. So I think the positioning that we have done with our clients in terms of, what is the importance of these structured products in your portfolio, and restricting to 30, 35, 40%, we do the job of ensuring that you make, because the nature of the market itself is so volatile. In a 10-year, like last 4 years itself, 5 years itself, if you see, 2020, the returns were 67% on Nifty. This year it was about 29%. But beach ke saal dekhoge to they are flattish. So, any 10-year cycle you see, you will find 2-year cycle where you will not make those equity-like returns. That's where the structured products comes into picture. Right now, sab acha hai, isliye you feel that, so I think you'll have to set the expectation right with the clients, and the risk factor which is there in terms of bringing down the risk on the overall portfolio, because debt will bring down the risk, but it will also take away the return. Here it is bringing down the risk and still giving you the return. So I think chit bhi meri, pat bhi mera types hai, and that's the reason clients have been forthcoming in filling those gaps of 30-35% structured products, which has kind of helped us.
So even at this time, you emphasize that they should have the entire portfolio should have 65-35 or 60-40. That is must.
Absolutely, that's the strategic allocation that we are kind of looking at, and mathematically we have seen that if you ultimately you got to be married to your objective, right? If you're saying 13-14% in a very smooth fashion, I think these are the two combinations which will help you to get there. That's been our mantra.
Actually, it's never advisable to change your asset allocation according to the market. In the history, no one has been able to make more money by timing the market. In fact, the strict advice we always give, don't try to time the market. It's just not possible. So as you rightly said, बढ़ते हुए market में आप ज़्यादा पैसा लगा देंगे, then you get disappointed. Because obviously, if 1 year if you get 40-50% jump, it's not necessary that it's going to continue year after year. Obviously, there will be some drop. If average return has been 14-15% on equity for last 45 years, how can it be higher continuously for next 5 years or